Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Around South Jersey. My special guest today is Jerry Velazquez, who is the CEO of the Cumberland County Authority, as it now is known. And let me tell you something before I introduce Jerry. We were blessed in Cumberland County, folks. We had the empowerment zone. And I don't know who found Jerry, but he was tremendous getting the empowerment zone off the ground. And then following him, another super lady or person, Sandy Forsiski, and now the new director, Jerry? Denise Jackson. Yeah. So, and she's a wonderful person too. So that the empowerment zone has had great people, starting with this guy. Jerry, we all went to Washington. What year was that?
2000.
2000. I was the mayor. Lou Magazu, I think, was director, freeholder board, and all that stuff. Wow, it's been 24 years.
24 years, sir.
And you still look as young as you did then.
Oh, yeah.
I have
less hair, though.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. Less to worry about.
Easier to get ready in the morning, yes.
Yeah, that's true. But
funny.
my point was that Jerry did a fantastic job. And Jerry, just go over a little bit about what the empowerment zone did and what it still does.
Sure. The empowerment zone was actually one of 10 round 2 empowerment zones that were funded at the federal level. Initially, the commitment was that they were going to give us $10 million a year for 10 years. And then lo and behold, politics got in the way, and we ended up getting $24 million over a 2-year period. And we are actually, I believe, the only round 2 empowerment zone that still exists. That's still operational.
Wow.
Denise is doing a great job, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
We still have money in the bank, and they're still making loans, and they're still operational, still providing support to businesses throughout the county. And actually, they are a CDFI, Community Development Financial Institution, so they actually receive money so that they can re-lend money to businesses throughout the empowerment zone. They've kind of stretched their area, their geography, so they're not only in the empowerment zone now, but for the most part, the empowerment zone, which is primarily Vineland, Millville, Bridgeton, and a portion of Commercial Township.
Right. So, but now, like maybe Upper Deerfield or some other.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure, to be honest with you, but
yeah,
it might
you.
be,
I'll have her on
good
sometime.
idea to have
Yeah.
Denise on and talk about the things that she's doing. But she's great. Denise
Yeah,
is
she
she's a fire plug, and she's put a lot of spirit and life and energy
exactly.
into it.
Yeah, she was my banker for a
Yeah,
while. with
she's
TD
very
Bank.
very good.
And of course, it's wonderful to have her. And I wanted to continue talking about the good people, and you seem to get them. I mean, like Sandy, was she your assistant?
Yep.
And then when you moved to the Improvement Authority at the time, now the authority, then what was interesting was now where you are, I am envious of you because this lady you got working with you now, she helped me build Millville's economic development program. It's Kim Ayers.
Yes.
She's an amazing lady.
Kim's fantastic. So Kim's been retiring for the last 5 years. She's not allowed to retire.
No.
So Kim and I have worked together for more than 30 years, kind of parallel tracks. And then Kim joined us about 6 years ago. I don't know if you're aware, but now we have Jody Hirata working with us.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And we have Dr. Jackie Galpiati working with us. So we're doing our best to make sure that we're growing the expertise at the company. Just want to make sure everybody understands the authority versus Cumberland County Improvement Authority. So simple, it's been made more of than it really is. But basically, the Cumberland County Improvement Authority is our official name. It's the name of the organization. We were having issues where the economic arm of the county, and we're the point people when businesses want to come in. So we were talking with businesses like Sika, like Lassonde, and way back when it was the Food Specialization Project and other food processors that were coming in they were international companies, and they were getting caught up in the Cumberland County Improvement Authority logo. It was a seal, looked like a governmental entity, and they were very nervous about dealing with the governmental entity, trying to get approvals. What is it exactly you do? How are you tied in? So we really rebranded the company. And we changed our titles. So instead of executive director, I'm now the president and CEO. Kim's vice president instead of assistant director. So we just changed our titles, and we changed our branding so that businesses that were coming in to the county really weren't getting confounded and kind of caught up in the whole governmental relationship. It was really, they were asking about the Sopranos and who do I have to pay and how does this work and I need to talk to this. So we really wanted to get out in front of that. We did. It's been great for us, but we are the Cumberland County Improvement Authority. We do care about Cumberland County, and we do care about improving the county. So there was some criticism about the authority and what it meant, and we've never changed our mission. We've never changed our objective. We just simply changed our branding so that it would get out of the way of getting things done.
Wait, and I'll tell you what, as far as economic development, I mean, really and truly, when you look at Cumberland County's economic development, it's you guys, it's you and it's Kim and it's your organization that has helped support the people that, I know Sandy's working in Vienna trying to get, and has done a great job along with the mayor getting people in, but you've been there to assist the businesses. You've also, and explain why this happens, I sort of know, but either you explain it. Like the city of Vienna, when they built the police building, you built it. I mean, you contracted the whole thing. Correct. Why did you do that instead of them?
So really, it's a opportunity for the municipalities, the county, school districts, to put the responsibility of a project on to another entity, right? So we have 6 construction managers that work every day on projects.
Wow.
And really, what happens is there is a financial benefit. So if we're bonding, then the county and or the town doesn't have to make a 5% down payment. So on a $10 million project, that's substantial.
Yeah.
The other thing is they don't have to, even though they guarantee the bond, it doesn't hit their books as a commitment against their cap. So essentially, they're getting around the cap, they're getting around the 5%, and also they're getting around the headache of having to deal with a contractor every day. So the way we do these projects is they're public bid. When you do public bid, it's the lowest qualified bidder. The lowest qualified bidder, again, they're all good contractors, but they're coming into this trying to give you the lowest number so they can get the contract, and then they end up giving you sometimes a number that's too low, and so you end up battling them throughout the project to get the number where it makes more sense for them. Not their fault. It's just the way public bidding works, right? Public bidding is what it is. It's a way to get things done, not always the best way to get things done. So in the case of the police station and the Bridgeton Fire Station and the tech school and all the other projects, it's just a handoff. We still get 100% involvement and communication with our customer, our client, which is the municipality and or school district and or the county. But again, it also helps if there's a problem, right? So if there's a problem, they blame me.
Yeah. You always have broad shoulders.
So it's.
But Jerry, I mean, honestly, folks, he's amazing. When you see the jobs that are done, like for instance, the addition to the Millville Library, all I hear from Ethan Aronoff, the president, oh my God, thank God for Jerry Velazquez and the authority. Because take all the burden off of them. They don't have to worry about things. And, like you said, you have 6 people managing different projects. And that Jerry, you ever realize how many millions of dollars worth of projects you've taken on?
$700 million.
Holy cow, folks. Yeah. Whew, that's phenomenal.
$700 million in about 9 years.
Wow.
Yeah. We're about $100 million outstanding at any point in time. We're just finishing up the Salem County Courthouse.
Oh, that's great.
So
I didn't know you had that.
Yeah, we did that.
Oh, that's right. Somebody was bragging you up from Cape May County, too. I don't know.
We just got the Cape May County Library.
Okay, that's what it was.
We obviously did in Cape May, we did the Kmart, what used to be the Kmart.
That's right.
Shopping
That's
center.
what we were talking about. Whoever I had on representing Cape May County was talking about what a great job you guys did helping them with that Kmart shopping center.
Now we're doing some good things, working in Salem, working in Cape May. Going to start doing some things in Burlington with the Burlington Bridge Commission. So
wow,
it's working out very well.
Now, let me ask you in Salem, and I will give the county commissioners a lot of credit. When I was a freeholder / county commissioner, George Castellini and I both felt that what we needed to do was outsource the jail. It was costing us millions, $30 million a year or something like that. And if Atlantic County had taken them like they talked about it, we would have saved like about 24 million to 30 million, whatever. But we would have saved money. But then that Atlantic County backed out of the deal, and then And I talked to the guy who's the county commissioner of Gloucester County, who's in charge of the public safety department. He was telling me, Jerry, the millions and millions of dollars they've saved by partnering with Salem County. Now, to our county commissioner's credit, and I'm sure you're going to be involved with this, they're going to have Cumberland, Gloucester, and Salem with the Salem jail, right?
Yeah, there's going to be a regional jail. So we've been working with the 3 counties for the last year, pretty much. We actually we're to the point where we're design development drawings. So the Improvement Authority will contract, will build, and the way the process works is then we will lease it to the new entity that's going to be created, not this authority, the jail authority,
Right.
and then the jail authority will manage the project. All of the employees of Salem and all the employees of Cumberland will become employees of the new entity.
I see.
So then you'll have
That's good.
a regional jail entity that will operate the new facility. It's going to be quite a facility. It's working out very nicely. We've done a lot of interesting things. We've taken, obviously best practices from all over the country and put them into this building, and we think it's going to be a really nice project for the 3 counties.
Well, that's fantastic. We're talking with Jerry Velazquez, the CEO and president of the authority. We'll be back with Jerry right after these messages, and I think my producer has a real nice segment he's going to put in too, so we'll be back in a few minutes.
The authority is a redevelopment entity. So we finance projects, we develop projects, we build projects. So as folks come in, we understand the dynamic of time and money, we understand the dynamic of approvals, we understand what they're going to need to do as they proceed through the development process. So we are with them lockstep, helping them to make sure that we're creating a situation where their approvals are happening as quickly as possible.
Many people treat their health like a game. With Complete Care Health Network, it's easy to start your healthcare journey. Just select from our specialties and schedule online, by phone, or on our app. Our entire team communicates with one another, so everyone works together on your total health. Plus, we make it even easier with all of these additional benefits. Level up your health with us. Complete Care Health Network. No games, just great healthcare for everyone.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
Did you know people litter less when their community is clean? Don't trash Cumberland County's future. At home, cover garbage and recycling cans. In your car, use litter bags to prevent trash and litter from flying out of the window. Also, keep your truck bed clear of trash and debris so our streets stay clean and hazard-free. And avoid single-use plastics such as straws and water bottles. Keep Cumberland County beautiful. Please don't litter. Visit theauthoritynj.com.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. My special guest is the CEO and president of the authority. And there you see, and Jerry, while we're looking at that building, tell everybody, you do some really nice things there as well. Folks, it's a beautiful building. And I have to tell you, in all due respect, it's not the Republicans' fault, it's the Democrats' fault that the Cumberland County Administration building is not impressive. In fact, it was a former insurance company building, and I love the man that had it, Paul Ritter. It was Cumberland Mutual Insurance. They outgrew it. So the Cumberland County freeholders, and again, it was the Democrats, took the building that they had, which was a nice building over near the library, and they sold it to a private school, a charter school. And they moved into the small little building they're in on Broad Street in Bridgeton. The administration area is so tiny. You got little cubicles and all that kind of stuff. In fact, during the COVID period, that's one of the reasons COVID spread so bad there. Those people were on top of each other. They didn't have their own office like they had over, at 790 Commerce Street or whatever it was, the original building. So I was very unimpressed and still am. I mean, if you're somebody, say you're coming down from Mercer County, hey, let me stop at Cumberland County and I want to, it's an official for Mercer County. And where's the administration building? Oh, what's that little building over there? Are you kidding me? This is what you have to show for? Jerry, you got to build them a new building. Come on, man. I know he's not saying that, folks. It's Jim Quinn making that statement.
Please.
And that's the way
you heard
I
it
felt.
From Jim,
That's
not
right.
from Jerry.
No, it's from me. And I wasn't on the freeholder board at the time, although I came back later and inherited that place. When I was director and I was on the freeholder board in the 80s, we had the big 790 East Commerce Street, or it was right next to the library. It made sense. Public Works was in the other building. We had plenty of room. And Jimmy Sorrow had a good point. If you looked at that building, the former administration building, when you went in, straight ahead was the elevator, because what they had planned on doing was adding to that building to the right side, so you could even make it bigger if you needed to do that. So it was all set up, but I don't know why. I guess they wanted to give Mayor Kelly a rateable or something, but what a shame, because if you've been to the new, old, little teeny administration building, you'll know what I mean. It's like, the meeting room is small, everything is small, and again, it wasn't the current people that did that. It was my people that did that, and I just very disappointed. But anyway, getting away from that, talking about what you see behind us, Jerry, tell us how this building came about.
So this building, our headquarters was downtown Millville in an old bank building, and my predecessor spent a lot of money renovating the building, and it was beautiful. But quite frankly, there was no parking, and it was not connected to the landfill. And the landfill is essentially the heartbeat of the authority, and the reason that the authority was created. So we built this facility. You can actually see it in the back there. The black tarp, which is now green, is adjacent to this building. So we're on the landfill campus. We built this building pre-COVID. It's amazing. Our most expensive building that we ever built, the tech school, pre-COVID, was $375 a square foot.
Wow.
Post-COVID, the Rowan Medicine building, which is nothing like the tech school,
Right.
was built for $550 a square foot.
Wow.
So COVID has made a significant difference
Jeez.
in cost, supply chain costs. Now,
Yeah.
prices have gone back down. We're back in the $475, $480 range, but we're never going to be in the $375 range. Sure. This building we built for $345 a square foot. The nice thing about this building is it has an attached training center, which is separate from a separate entrance, but it's attached to our building. And so Sika, Oatley, Lasan, when they were coming down, a bunch of private businesses, when they come and they want to meet in Cumberland County, they actually use our facility at no cost. So they were all meeting at our building. Sika has been meeting at our building prior to moving in for 3.5, 4 years.
Tell us who Sika is.
Sika is a company that came from Sweden. It's layman's terms, it's Quickcrete on steroids. If you say to them it's Quickcrete, they'll take your head off. But it's a polymer concrete that's used in highly specialized food, heavy, advanced manufacturing. So they use it, and it's a special type of polymer concrete. They're building a large facility in Upper Deerfield. The first phase is about $80 million with about 50 to 75 employees. We're actually working with them right now to get people hired. The next phase, there'll be 2 more phases. There'll be another probably 100 employees that are hired in addition to the 50 to 75 they're going to be hired in the first phase. So that's a nice project for us. And that all started, unbelievably, from a referral from another neighboring county that couldn't find a place for them. So they called me on the phone and said, hey, can you find somewhere for them? And I said, we certainly will.
It's nice to know, because I actually have property in Upper Deerfield also, and it helped push the value of my property up. And I looked and I saw all the things you said. They were going to hire 100 people and all this kind of stuff. And I'm thinking, wow, I didn't know what the company did. But thank you for letting me know that. And that's, again, That's good for everybody. Everything Jerry's doing, and Kim and all of his people, now Jody and the people working with him, they're helping the economy in Cumberland County. Jerry's just talking about all the jobs and the ratables. That's what really floats your boat, is having a ratable base. The better the ratable base, the less you have to pay on county taxes and that type of situation. So
kudos to Mayor Crilly and his team. He's got a great team over there. Roy
Spoltoy, isn't he great?
Spoltoy.
Yeah.
His team, Tony Stanzione, obviously with the CDC.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's a great team over there.
Yeah, they really are. And I mean, and Upper Deerfield is just, it got lots of land, thank God.
Yep.
As,
lots of land in redevelopment area, so that's a good thing. One of the other things we have is obviously we have a lot of area in Cumberland County that's set aside for preservation.
Yeah.
I think there's 65% of our property in the county is set aside for preservation, which obviously is a good thing. Although
I don't know if I agree with that.
If we want ratables and we want to build, then we have to have areas that are designated for development. One of the interesting things about Cumberland County, and people say, why is Vineland always getting something? Why is Vineland always building? Vineland has its own electric utility, its own water utility, its own sewer utility, and Vineland has the ability to lure businesses in because they have control of their infrastructure. The rest of the county doesn't have control of their infrastructure. We have the Land and Sewage Authority, the Cumberland County Utilities Authority, obviously, but Atlantic City Electric needs a lot of improvement. We've been working with Atlantic City Electric for the past 2 years. We have an every other week meeting, and we talk about what we're doing in Cumberland County, the need for infrastructure, trying to get infrastructure built so that we can attract businesses like Sika, like Lassam Pappas, and others that are coming to areas outside of Vineland to make sure that we're spreading the wealth, right? We're spreading the growth throughout the county, not just focusing on one city.
Yeah, and Mayor Fiducci does a show with me, and he's talked about that too. As Vineland goes, so does the county, and you see, like Jerry's saying, Vineland's running out of land. Kim and I talk about it, or I'm sorry, Sandy and I talk about it, Sandy Forsiski, and, I think they purchased a little bit more land. But if you've ever been to the Vineland Industrial Park, it's like, oh my God, this place is packed, and it's all businesses. And Jerry, one of the big things that they have that's very popular in Cumberland County is cold storage. That's because you're close to Philly.
Yeah, food is a big deal for us. Food manufacturing is a big deal for us. One of the not many good things came out of COVID, but one of the good things that came out of COVID was it kind of insulated us. It grew our food industry. So while everybody was kind of taking a hit from a manufacturing perspective, we were growing. F&P, FNS rather.
Right.
FNS.
Yeah.
Lavari and what he's doing there,
Oh my
all
God,
the other
yes.
food,
Yeah.
all the other food entities, and then obviously cold storage and storage, logistics, right? So logistics around food, logistics around cold storage has created a boom for our opportunities that exist here and what the growth that you see all over the county, really.
Well, and especially what you just said, Jerry, if you're going to have cold storage, you're going to need a lot of electric. Vineland controls their own electric utility, so they don't have to be dependent on whatever Atlantic Electric will do for you. It's hard to even get them to move poles and all that stuff, as Jerry was talking about. I don't know if they're too overworked, what the problem is, but they're not easy to get things done. And you need that, and that's why Vineland's been so lucky. They have their own electric utility. They can give good rates and everything else that goes with that, and the sewer and the water and everything is available for them. So they have just been doing very, very well. And I want to congratulate Mayor Finucci. He broke a record in the city of Vineland. He is now, for the first time ever, the third-term mayor that this city's had. In fact, speaking of mayors, my cousin Harry Curley, I don't know if you ever met him.
Sure.
Harry had his 90th birthday party a month ago. Of course, I got invited. Harry's my cousin. His dad and my grandma were brother and sister. And but Harry was one term, and he tried to run again, but there was something with Sharp's Cafe, which was a derelict bar that was giving him problems or something like that, I guess. But when you look at the people, that's quite a feat. And in fact, the first mayor of Vineland was Mike Testa's grandpa. So you talk about families and things like that. It's really interesting. But Mayor Finucci, and I know he likes you, Jerry, and he's always spoke very highly of you. You guys work well together.
He's been a great supporter of mine. So just want to say real quickly, thanks to Mayor Finucci for his support. Sandy, obviously, and I have known each other for a long time, and Bob Dickinson,
He's
all
a
from the
great
city
guy.
of Island,
Yeah.
who've provided, me personally and the authority with support, over the years. So we really appreciate their support, and obviously the support of the others that recognize that we can make a difference and help projects along.
Well, one of the projects you did for the city of Vineland, when it was at the ribbon cutting, I was there. I guess I was a freeholder at the time, and got to go through the facility, was the new police building. And that was at about 10 years ago, 5 years ago?
No, probably it was pre-COVID, so everything with COVID's all screwed up. So
Yeah.
probably 6 years
6
ago,
years ago.
5-6
Okay,
years
right.
ago. Yeah. So we put that. We
Yeah.
obviously developed that project. That's a good example of, us working together with the city. Unfortunately, the folks that we were working with that were working for
Contractor.
the police department
Oh,
were folks that were not communicating well with the rank and file. So we were doing things what we thought
Oh,
were
that's
being
right.
communicated with the staff. There wasn't enough communication with the staff, so there were some things that were done that the staff was not happy with, not because we did it our way, just because we were told to do it a certain way. So unfortunately, there was a transition. The people that were transitioning were people that we were working with that didn't necessarily communicate with the rest of the staff. So while it's a beautiful building, and quite frankly, Department of Corrections uses that building as a model for
that's
other police stations. We have had a couple hiccups with the new guys that are in there.
Well, I guess on the good side, though, tell everybody how
Finucci's
that
the
helped.
problem. Finucci's the reason for this.
How that helped the city. Why? And you mentioned, I think, a little earlier, the financial advantage to the city of Vineland by having you guys do the project instead of them doing it.
Yeah, financial advantage, and also that was a situation where we had to purchase a lot of private property. So we were the point entity that was buying these properties, negotiating with the owners. So people don't realize the time and energy that went into buying those properties, negotiating with those residents, those owners, and really coming up with solid offers. We didn't give the store away, but at the same time, we made it amicable for everybody that we bought properties from. So there were about 10 properties that we
Wow.
purchased, and it went as smoothly as it could go under the circumstances. And as I mentioned before, certainly there's an opportunity for us to get these things done. Take the brunt of the responsibility, and then turn it over to the city and let the city operate it.
Yeah, and that's great. I said to Mayor Finucci, I've been ripping buildings. I never thought the Millville City Hall looked good. I thought, what a weird looking building. And when I was the mayor, there was a woman judge. Her dad was the executive director of the Cumberland County, or the Millville Chamber of Commerce. And he had raised some money to put a mural on the side of that building. And oh, geez. Anyway, don't get old, folks. I forget his name, but he was a wonderful guy, a great sense of humor. So he was lobbying me when I got elected mayor to put that up there. Well, it wasn't going to cost the city anything. And I said, and one of the other commissioners says, "Oh, Jim, you're going to desecrate this building." I said, "Are you kidding me? This building's so ugly. That's going to improve the building." And it did improve the building. The building looks great with the mural that was done. And again, it didn't cost the taxpayers anything. This was raised by the Millville Chamber of Commerce, and they donated the services of the fellow who did the mural. And again, what I wanted to mention too was Vineland's building was never really that great, but they've done a nice job.
They did a really nice job. Actually, they mimicked the colors of the police station, and it looks really nice. They did a really nice job. They caulked and painted and stripped, and they did fencing and landscaping. It looks really, really nice.
Yeah.
They
Well,
did a nice
it's
job.
interesting.
The two buildings.
I don't know if you ever knew Marv Wadlinger. He was an attorney and really good guy. And he was a Millville attorney, and he was on the board of directors of Millville Savings and Loan. And the one thing he said to me, and if you get a chance, look at this, because what Jerry was just saying, he said, "Jim, whatever you do in a big public building or something like Millville Savings and Loan, you do landscaping. And their landscaping is beautiful, flowers and bushes and everything like that. It just says something. It's like, wow, this really looks nice, and that's something, again, that I proves the looks, and, and I, with some places, obviously, for private places, it would improve the value of the property to buy it, and that type of thing. But, yeah, they've done a really good job there as well.
Yep.
Yeah, but, it's funny, I complain about ones. I like Deerfield. I like Upper Deerfield. I'm into the traditional, the red brick ones, those to me are nice. And the old Millville City Hall that got torn down, the police building, which is, again, too modern looking for me, was the old-fashioned one, and I sort of like the facade of it anyway. But anyway, we'll be back with Jerry Velazquez to talk about some of the great things like the alternative energy project they've got going. We haven't talked about the landfill, and we'll do all that right after these messages.
Located 45 miles southeast of Philadelphia in southern New Jersey, the Cumberland County Improvement Authority is the only landfill operator in New Jersey to operate a microgrid, maintaining and operating its own electrical infrastructure. The microgrid enables the authority to more completely recycle on-site energy produced from its own landfill gas. Allentown, Pennsylvania-based Energy Power Partners owns and operates a 4.8 megawatt landfill gas-to-energy plant in operation since 2008 at the Solid Waste Complex. 3 CAT G3520 gensets are fueled by methane gas from the landfill and produce approximately 20 million kilowatt hours each year, enough electricity to power 1,600 homes.
The Energy Hub is really taking everything that we do from an energy standpoint, bringing that in-house, and essentially controlling our destiny. So the heat, the treatment plant, the electricity, the mini-MRF, the microgrid, everything that we do is really looks towards us being sustainable.
Electricity produced by the generators is primarily used to power all facilities at the Solid Waste Complex, as well as the authority's nearby offices. The remaining power from the Waste-to-Energy project is sold back to the local utility grid.
We did a lot of research into different technologies, especially when we started this business a couple decades ago. And clearly Caterpillar was the premier engine at the time and still is today. And we made a good decision without a doubt. When you look at what we're using here, it's a biogas or landfill gas. It's a gas that's a half methane and half of things that are not methane. It's got a lot of other constituents in it. Whatever goes into the landfill, a lot of it might come through the gas. And you need a very robust engine to actually take care and destroy that gas and make electricity. Through our research, we saw that Caterpillar had a very robust type engine that could handle the biogas here at this landfill and other landfills too, and it's very unique. There aren't a lot of manufacturers that have a product like that.
Working in conjunction with Energy Power Partners, the authority began a project 3 years ago to install a leachate evaporation system from Heartland Water Technology. Heartland's solution, called the Heartland Concentrator, is a patented process that uses the hot exhaust from the power plant for evaporation, creating an energy-efficient cogeneration solution. By evaporating the leachate concentrate, the authority eliminated GHG emissions and environmental risks associated with nearly 1,500 truckloads per year that were previously hauled off-site, saving the county thousands of dollars annually.
And certainly, what we're doing with CAT, with EPP, is really important for us from a sustainability issue. Sustainability is in our blood. It's what we do. We're very proud of our partnership and certainly very proud of the fact that when you take a look around at what's happening throughout the state, the CAT engines certainly stand out.
Thunderbolt Area Federal Credit Union is your hometown team for banking. We offer banking which is small town focused and customer based. We know you and we are for you. Thunderbolt Area Federal Credit Union is a nonprofit and federally insured. Solid as a Thunderbolt airplane, we are your team. Thunderbolt Area Federal Credit Union, 1601 Cedar Street.
Hi, I'm Bob Millard, President of Thunderbolt Area Federal Credit Union. Come see us and experience banking as it used to be.
Hi folks, Joe Namath here. And if you're having a hard time hearing, Call MD Hearing because they changed my life and they can change yours too. I was wearing expensive hearing aids for years until a good friend of mine told me about MD Hearing. I bought a pair of the hearing aids with no doctor visit, no prescription, and no hassle. I got fitted right over the phone and I've never had a better pair of hearing aids. I'm even wearing them right now.
Call now and get 2 rechargeable Neo hearing aids for just $297 with a free portable charging case and free shipping. The rechargeable Neo is nearly invisible with its tiny in-the-air canal design, and you can get 2 rechargeable Neo hearing aids with a 45-day risk-free trial, free shipping, and free lifetime U.S.-based support for only $297.
Call my friends at MD Hearing and get the over-the-counter hearing aids that I use for you.
Call 855-993-1930.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. Jerry Velazquez, CEO of the Authority, is our guest. And Jerry, I want to thank you and the Authority and the Improvement Authority, everything. What I wanted to transition into was the landfill. I had my trash picked up today. Of course, I'm a Millville resident, and it's the
Atlantic County
ACUA.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, they do a great job. I am very pleased. I've never, ever had a problem with trash strewn around or anything like that. They're there, they do the job, and I actually go out sometimes and thank the fellas for the great job they do, because that's not easy it's not an easy job to do.
Not on a cold day.
No, gosh, no. And at least now, Jerry, they have the trucks where they grab the cans and the trucks pick the cans up. When I was the mayor of Millville, we did our trash in-house, and we ended up getting workman's comp claims from the trash guys because they had to lift the stuff up and dump it in the truck. Yeah. So that saved Millville in that sense as well. Now, Vineland went with another company.
Pineland, yeah.
Pineland, right. And that guy's a councilman in Seattle City. And in fact, a friend of mine works for him. She's one of his secretaries. Do you know his name?
No, I do not.
It's Italian fellow. I forget the last name. Oh, while we're talking about names, Jerry saved me. During the break, he said, Jim, Curio. And I said, yes. George Curio was the Cumberland County, or the Millville Chamber of Commerce Executive Director, who helped raise the money and put that mural on the building in Millville. So when you look at that, look up to heaven, say thank you, George, because he did a wonderful job doing that. And his kids, Georgia, the judge, and then Alex, right? And there is another daughter. She's a sweetheart, too. I can't remember her first name, but great people who contributed back to the community, which was really nice. But anyway, the landfill situation, tell us about that and who's in charge of that now?
Sure. So Tony Riviera is our landfill manager. Sal DeFrancesco is his number 2. And so they've been with us. Sal's been with us for more than 30 years. Tony's been with us for more than 20 years. We collect about 200,000 tons per year.
Wow.
And essentially we collect everyone's trash and we process it. And the good news is you don't hear much about the landfill because it runs so well. Tony and Sal and all the staff do a great job. We have one of the nicest landfills, not only in the state, but all in the country and in the world. We've had folks come in from all over the country, all over the world, to take a look at what we're doing, our RNG, CNG, the treatment plant. So we got folks coming in from all over, taking a look at our landfill, and we always get compliments on how nice our landfill looks. And one of the nice things I'd like to point out is the relationship that we have with Atlantic County Utilities Authority. So there was a lot of pressure on our improvement authority to start to pick up trash, and we just didn't have the infrastructure. We had never done it before. Tony and I looked at it. I wanted to do it. Tony convinced me that I shouldn't do it, which was probably one of the best decisions I made, best no decisions I made. And so what we did is we partnered with Atlantic County Utilities Authority. That they've been picking up trash, have had the infrastructure, knew what they were doing. So we partnered with them and have a shared service. So they actually park their vehicles at the landfill. Their staff comes to the landfill, and then they pick up trash currently for Bridgeton and for Millville. So that's worked out really well.
Yeah,
for
us
and the county.
I'm glad that's worked out so well. The we're lucky I have to tell you, though, the only time I ever had my life threatened is when I placed the landfill. I was on the board to place the landfill. This is the truth. And, we ended up putting it in Deerfield Township. And I did a live show every evening. It was called Auction Time Show. Luckily, I didn't let the calls go out on the air because people would use obscenities and things like that. So this one night, I've got the headset on. It was a Sunday night. I'll never forget. And I get a call, and this guy says to me, "When you walk out of the door tonight, I'm going to blow your head off." And I went, "Oh, that doesn't sound too good." And it was in retaliation for me voting with the other folks to place the landfill. And I actually, at that time, I called the public safety director from Millville, who wasn't a good friend. And he says, don't worry about it. That's on you. That was it. So I will say, George Castellini was the sheriff. He did send a sheriff's officer over to escort me home. So needless to say, I'm still here, and I thank God for that. And Jerry, I got to tell you another funny story.
We have a little better relationship with Deerfield now.
Yeah, I know you do. And this is sad for me. I was speech therapist, Deerfield Schools. I loved the people, the kids, and the kids liked me. And then all of a sudden they didn't like me anymore because they were worried what was going to happen. But tell them the good things that came through for Deerfield Township.
So obviously the relationship that we have is, so they're our host community, and we provide them with a host benefit contribution. The contribution actually is up to about $625,000 a year. And we share vans, we share equipment, we let them use equipment. All the Deerfield residents come into the landfill at no cost. So there's a lot of interaction, a lot of relationship that we're having with Deerfield on a regular basis. So it's worked out very well. Mayor O'Brien is really good to work with. Dawn Baselli is their BA. They don't hesitate to call us when they need something. They don't hesitate to call us when there's a problem, and we're constantly picking up, trash on the side of the roads throughout the county. We do everything we can to make sure that not only the landfill continues to look good, but obviously all the streets throughout the county. We unfortunately pick up a lot of trash. So we have a group of guys that go out every single day, 5 days a week, and on Saturday, and pick up trash, and we're picking up tons of trash per month, which is unfortunate. I mean, the good news is we're picking up 5-6 tons a month. The bad news is we're picking up 5-6 tons a month. So it's disheartening sometimes, but they do it every day. They do a great job. We have our van out there all over the place. We have the SLAP program, which utilizes folks that are using doing community service, and they come and pick things up too. So we get 100, 200 bags a month that get picked up through that process as well. So doing the best we can. You mentioned the landfill and the energy. So we have a microgrid. A microgrid basically is we create our own energy. We collect the methane gas, create our own electricity, and then we have the poles and the lines that we own. So we're not on Atlantic City Electric. We have our own electric supply that is created from the methane gas that we collect at the landfill.
Wow,
so
that's great.
That's really nice. And then we have a treatment plant, which is currently being revamped, but we will soon get back online in the summertime. And we collect our leachate, and we treat the leachate on site, and then we direct it to a basin. And some of the things people don't realize is we have wells adjacent to the landfill. We have wells that are further out away from the landfill, and then we test those quarterly. None of the leachate enters into the ground. The landfill is basically a fishbowl that collects water. That water has a group of straws, basically a structure like a straw. It's like a cereal bowl kind of thing, like little kids. And we suck the leachate out, send it to the treatment plant, and that gets treated, and then we treat on site. So the landfill is basically a microgrid biology project, if you will, that constantly moves, constantly is in motion. And Tony, and I said, the staff and Sal do a great job of managing that. And quite frankly, if it wasn't for them, don't know what I'd do.
One of the things I always enjoyed, Tony would come on when he was in charge of recycling. And it's funny, to his credit and to Jerry's credit, when I take something, especially the plastic, and I'm trying to figure out, does it go in the recycling or does it go in the trash? And I guess basically it's number 1 and 2, or
Yeah, 1s and 2s.
Go in recycling.
Yeah.
Right?
So now we do 3 through 7s now.
Oh,
so
do
we've
you?
been pushing.
Oh,
we've
that's
been
good.
pushing our recycling entity. So we have also what we do on site is we actually have our own recycling facility on site. So we're processing the recyclable materials on site.
Oh, that's super.
So what we've done is we've gotten up to speed. The company that's been in for about a year and a half, 2 years, has finally gotten to the point where they've bought new equipment. They're processing all the material that comes in. So 25 focus will be on education and making sure that everything that goes into the recycling bin is recyclable. We have a lot of residual waste that goes in right now. It's contamination.
Yeah.
So, it's hard. So pizza boxes are a big thing, right?
Yeah.
So do you put a pizza box in? Do you not? Obviously, it's cardboard. But if the cardboard has cheese and
tomato
oil
sauce,
on it, then it's
oil,
not
yeah.
recycled. So
We-
so we try and say don't put a pizza box in because most of the time there's a lot of residual, a lot of waste in the box.
Yeah.
And so people say, well, it is recycled. Yes, it is. Tear the top. I mean, there's different
Yeah.
things you can do,
Yeah.
but you got to do what makes the most sense and makes for a good recycling product.
And it's funny. I remember that we talked about that before, and I look at the pizza box because I get pizza from Bim's, which I used to own the place, and Joey's box does have the oil in the bottom, so I know I got to throw that away. There's another place I go to in Dennis Township, and there doesn't seem to be anything in the bottom of the box, but I still throw it away because I'm worried I don't want, it's funny how you learn these things. And what we're going to have to do, Jerry, is we'll do another show just on recycling, and especially things that aren't recyclable, so that we all know, we all want to be helpful and do that. And, this is great because it's just something that we're fortunate to be able to do. I mean,
So Samantha's our new recycling coordinator.
Samantha, what's her last name?
DeFrancisco.
Oh, you did say that. Yeah.
Sam worked with us while she was in school, went to college, came back, and has been our recycling coordinator. She actually wrote a book that she takes into schools with her.
Oh, that's great.
And teaches young kids and quite frankly, adults how to recycle, what to recycle. So it would be good to have her in here.
Yeah, that'd be super.
Much more astute
Yeah.
and up to speed on recycling than I.
Yeah, well, that would be wonderful. I look forward to having her very soon, for the program. We'll be back to wrap up our program with Jerry Velazquez, CEO of the Authority and President. We'll be back right after these messages.
In Cumberland County, let's recycle right. We recycle cardboard, paper, aluminum, tin, and plastics number 1 and 2. Look for the 3-arrow triangle usually on the bottom of the plastic container. The number in the center determines the plastic number. Remember to recycle only number 1 and 2 plastics. Plastic bags, plastic film, hoses, and wires are not recyclable. They can damage sorting equipment and create hazardous working conditions. Don't trash our future. Do the right thing. Remember, reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Many people treat their health like a game. With the Complete Care Health Network, it's easy to start your healthcare journey. Our mental health services focus on the emotions and behaviors that affect your overall well-being and features psychiatric, counseling, and addiction services, including our exclusive Fresh Start program, designed to help combat the opioid epidemic in our communities, plus all the other specialties you expect from Complete Care. Level up your health with us. The Complete Care Health Network. No games, just great healthcare for everyone.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. Jerry Velazquez, the president and executive of the authority, and of course also is involved with the Cumberland County Improvement Authority, which is the overseer. One of the things Jerry did bring to me, and I wanted to point out, and you talked a little bit about it, think about this. Listen to this number, folks. The public improvement projects that Jerry and his staff have done, 67 projects that brought to the county 3,502 jobs, and the investment was $619 million, and an impact on the county of $1.1 billion. So let me tell you something. Jerry Velazquez is the man, and the authority is the organization. And again, Jerry, to your credit, you surround yourself with good people. You know, and boy, having Jody Hirata, that's fantastic. I'm glad to hear that.
Look, it's all about the staff. We had a meeting last night, and I took the time to thank the staff. Without the staff, nothing happens. Certainly I come up with the crazy ideas and tell folks that we should do these 75 things, and 10 of them work. And sometimes I get the credit one way or the other, good or bad. But at the end of the day, the staff are the folks that implement all these projects. The other thing I'd like to mention, we don't get enough credit for the private development that happens in the county. People say, oh, you just do public projects. We do not only do public projects. We attract private entities. We help private entities grow, businesses that are here to expand, new businesses that are coming in to come into our county and spend money. And we say we have a presentation. Last year, the rateable increase was $800 million. This year's year-over-year rateable increase was $1.3 billion. That represents about 16% of the total rateable base year-over-year. So again, we're getting things done. We're working very well with all the communities, and we're always looking to help the best we can to bring new business in and help businesses grow in our community.
Well, in fact, one of the things that Jerry brought for me, the state police barracks you're going to be building next year.
So we have a really good relationship with State Treasury. State Treasury is the leasing agent for the state of New Jersey. So we have the DMV in Vineland is our building that we lease to Treasury. We lease them. We lease the state police space in the old NFI site on Park Avenue.
Oh yes,
and then
right.
we're building the new barracks in Commercial Township.
Okay.
And that's a nice opportunity for the state, because what they do is they hire us. We build the building, we finance the building, they pay rent, and then when the debt service is paid off, they own the building for $1. So it gives them an opportunity to invest in property long term and then maintain ownership once the debt is paid off. So it works out really well for us.
You did mention earlier about the landfill RNG. That's coming
renewable
up.
Natural gas. So that's something we're working on right
Okay.
now. So right now we're using the methane gas to generate electricity. The hope is that we're going to take that same methane gas. There's a process that cleans the gas and actually injects it back into the gas pipeline, and then it gets used as a supplement to the natural gas and becomes renewable energy. So we're looking at doing that. That'll be a 2025 project.
Another thing that you have, and we talked a little bit about, which is impressive too, the regional jail for Salem County, Cumberland County, and Gloucester County is going to be in Salem County. And Jerry, I see that's going to be a 100,000 square foot building.
Yes.
Wow, that's great. Ben Laurie's going to love you too. That was the other thing. When I was a freeholder and I was on the South Jersey Development Council or whatever meetings, that's when the guy from Cape May County, he has the rides, the amusement rides, the free. Morey, thank you. Mr. Morey, he said, oh, we love Jerry and the Cumberland County Improvement Authority and all that kind of stuff. And it made me feel good as a Cumberland County freeholder because, basically it was part of our organization, or at least part working with them. So it's not just Cumberland County, as Jerry's talked about. It's all over South Jersey. And one thing I see here, Jerry, you have up, is this private, the solar field?
No, so that's actually going to be located on our campus. So it'll just be an enhancement. So if we're going to take the gas and we're going to clean it up and put it in a pipeline, then we're going to have an alternative energy source. So we're going to create solar energy to provide the backup for what we're losing.
I actually have that on my Upper Deerfield Township property, a solar field, and it's wonderful. It covers all my electric and gives me almost $1,000 a month back from SREX, and it's environmentally good. It doesn't hurt the environment, and it's very good to have as well. So, boy, you got a lot on your plate. Do you ever sleep?
No.
This is funny.
That's why we built the beautiful building, because I spend more of my time there than I do at home.
Let's just briefly speak about your family, because I'd asked Jerry to come in one evening, and he said, Jim, I got a commitment. Tell him what your commitment was last night.
My commitment was my grandson.
Yeah,
so
that's wonderful.
I take the time, work very hard, but at the end of the day, take the time. So my grandson had his Christmas concert yesterday, so that's where I was.
And let me tell me more about your family then. How many children do you have?
So 5.
Wow.
5 shared.
Okay.
So my wife and I have 5 together.
Right.
And then I have my grandson. And so, yeah.
And he's 9.
He's 9.
Yeah,
I
that's
have
a great age.
Ages range from 35 to 19.
That's super. That is wonderful. And well, I mean, I know you grew up in Vineland. You went to Vineland High, right?
Yeah, we were born in Brooklyn, and my father worked for CBS Records, and CBS Records was in Brooklyn, New York, and then they moved from Brooklyn, New York to Pittman, and then we moved to Brown Road in Vineland, which is where I grew up, and my parents still live.
Oh, that's
14th,
fantastic.
at the same location with
That's
the same
great.
phone number. So my friends from high school, which we still hang around, still call.
So who were some of the guys in high school that you liked? Well, I might know.
We hang. Gary Lugiano was one. John Martini,
Yeah.
Vince Stravarelli, John Heck, Gary Lugiano, Marighi. There's a group of
Tom Marighi?
Group of troublemakers.
Which
Jeff.
Marighi? Jeff.
Jeff.
Oh, Jeff. Yeah.
Yeah. Jeff's dad was on the tech board for a while.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's interesting, the connections. Like Nick Caselda and I have talked about people that he went to school with. And in fact, I just talked to somebody the other day that I met, first time I met this lady, and she went to Vineland High, and she knew Nick and all that stuff. Of course, he was one of my favorite state senators. Of course, now we got the state senator, Michael Testa, who does a great job. And Mike comes on the show, and he is tremendous, very, very charismatic, does a great job. And he promises me sometime his mom's going to come on. I don't know if you knew this, Jerry, but his mom's the deputy mayor of Buena Vista Township. And my cousin Joey Baruffi, do you know Joey B? Yeah. He's the mayor of Buena Borough. That's just Buena, Minatola, and Landisville.
He keeps leaving and coming back. What's his story?
Huh? Well, I think he's got bored.
What's he thinking?
He's retired. He retired from education. You know what? I mean, honestly, I thank God I have this, because I have ADD. I get bored. It's like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? George, we're going to do a show. And I call Jerry. Jerry, please come in. Yeah, Jim, I'll be there. No problem.
That's fine.
But again, coming back to you and I were talking off the air about doing what you love. I do what I love. Jerry does what he loves. And you really benefit people. I mean, I benefit the whole county and businesses and all that kind of stuff. And I try to keep people informed as much as we can with the local cable channel that I've been involved with for 47 years. It's nice to be able to have it. And you know what's neat, Jerry? This program is not only seen on Channel 22, but it's on Facebook and YouTube. And what's nice with Facebook and YouTube is we see how many thousands of people watch over the period of time that we did. Millville High School football last year, we had 250,000 views. But they were winning. They won again this year. They made it to the finals again, and we were getting about 20,000 views a game, and there was 12 games, 13 games, something like that. So at least when I go to the advertisers, anybody watch that channel? Yeah, they do. And if they don't see it on the channel, they see it on YouTube. And what's neat with YouTube, and even like when we do the Christmas parade stuff, people from all over the United States who used to live in Cumberland County will message in, hey, I'm watching from California, from Florida, from Texas. And it's really neat. In fact, the longest one we have was from Ecuador. We had somebody watching from Ecuador.
Oh, cool.
So that's pretty neat to have that done. But anyway, Jerry, I thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate the time.
Thank you for everything you do. Let me tell you, this man, known him since 2000 when we started the Empowerment Zone. He was the man there. We went to Washington. We got to meet, was it Clinton? Yeah, Gore was, I think, right? Gore, Clinton. And I got to sit behind Teddy Kennedy and John Kerry. I sat right behind them. And Teddy Kennedy's son, I met down in Brigantine now. He's Amy's husband. He was a congressman, and he's doing very, very well, and nice people, you know. Of course, we got RFK Jr. now. He's going to be in charge of something for
No comment on politics.
Yeah, I know. You can't do that. Just a Kennedy. I don't know if he's the Kennedy I would like to see, but he is the Kennedy. No, I understand that. But remember, this man gets it done. Lots of great things that have taken place at the landfill and at that beautiful building and the authority and all those things. And Jerry, congratulations. And have a wonderful new year. Thank you, George Kachia, for producing the show today, folks. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again real soon. Take care. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
This has been a QBC television production, in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22, and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.